Arkansas is heading to back-to-back Elite Eights as they defeat the number one overall seed Gonzaga Bulldogs by a score of 74-68. This is Arkansas basketball recap. I'm Daniel Price. That's Jacob Price, recording for the first time ever in the same room because we had to watch it together. It might be like this the rest of the way. I don't know. It's
just a couple more games, so
a couple more games so you win that national championship. Because if you can beat Gonzaga, you can presumably beat anybody. Dude, I mean, this was intense, dude. You want to talk about a game that was just intense the whole time. This wasn't one of those games where Arkansas got that lead. I mean, you kind of even felt like maybe there's a chance that Arkansas duplicates what Memphis did, and like maybe they can do something and they can get on a run and they can go up 10, but then Gonzaga's gonna make a run and close it, and it was not like that, dude. It was super neck and neck. Arkansas got down by I think as much as 7 or 8 early. They came back. They get up by 3 going into the half, and they never give it up, dude. They never trail after that.
Yeah, it's not how I saw it going down. I mean, I had run through obviously like a bunch of different versions of this game in my head, and I thought, there was a best case scenario where Amude gets off on the 3-point line and Jalen hits one or two, and everybody clicks, and obviously Note gets off, and you actually win kind of handily. I didn't think that was likely, but I was sure hoping for it. And then another version where they run us off the court, and I was thinking our best chance to win was because they had given up consistently all year, kind of like Auburn. They'd given up leads and they'd played soft in the first half. I really thought our best chance was to get a 12 to 15 point lead in the first half and hold on to it. And it ended up just being really just a neck and neck game all the way down. And man, I didn't see Wade hitting 3 of 4 threes or something like that.
Dude, let me run through this. First of all, right, you haven't looked at this. I got the stats pulled up here. Jake, you've not looked at the stats. What do you think the who won the battle of field goals percentage, do you think?
I think they did.
Well, you would be wrong because Arkansas holds Gonzaga to 37.5% shooting as Arkansas shoots 40.3%.
Okay, so it's close.
It's close. 3-point percentage, Arkansas wins that 7 of 25 at 28%, and they were 5 of 21 for 23.8%. Arkansas was not going to let you get good looks.
Anything. I was interested. That was actually an interesting thing, as I wasn't sure. Musselman was looking at their game tape, and he was going to, have a particular thing that he wanted to take away or focus on, and it seemed like it was a good plan. It seemed a little bit. I mean, Timmy was so talented, and he scored pretty effectively. I mean, Jalen certainly did a much better job than when he was, when Jalen had to go out and got in foul trouble. Timmy pretty much got whatever he wanted, but still, the difference between there's such an emotional difference between guy catches the ball in the post, makes a bunch of hard moves, and you make him take a difficult, even if it's a difficult little hook shot, and it bounces around and goes in. That doesn't have the emotional punch of he catches the ball, starts to make a move, you double him, kicks it out, 3 in your face as you dive out at him, and they just never got any momentum off of their offense.
Yeah, Jalen was good enough to guarding Timmy one-on-one that, I mean, Musselman basically was like, look, if you can make tough shots, because Jalen's still gonna make that tough shot for Timmy, or make that shot tough for Timmy. That's gonna happen. He's like, if you're gonna score 37 points or something, making just shots over Jalen Williams, then I guess we'll live with it. But we're not gonna dive down and double. We're not gonna let you kick out. We're just gonna make you make tough shots. And he made some tough shots, but he didn't make enough of them.
Well, and the main thing is everybody talked about their fast break, and they were up and down the court. I mean, you saw Jalen was getting gassed because they were just running it, even though we did a great job of contesting those fast breaks. But they never got momentum building plays, and that's what they get out and run, and they make threes, and all of the offense that they did get was hard fought, and like I said, it was nothing that you could get them hyped for, and I really think that made a big difference. They had to score the way we had to score, which is dirty, slow, and making high difficulty, talented shots that are like, you've got to just shake their hand and go, okay, if you're going to make that, good. But none of these where they get to beat their chest and they're all chest bumping afterwards. You know what I mean?
So here's some interesting stats for you too. Okay, so assists. Gonzaga had five. I'm sorry, no, they had 9 assists. Arkansas had 13. So we beat them in the assist game. How bad do you think the rebounding was?
In the first half, or honestly, anytime they had both of those big guys in, I felt like we were getting one shot every time, and they were out rebounding us, especially on their defensive, our offensive glass. But then when he would go out, I felt like we did pretty well. But if I had to guess, man, I feel like it's close.
So the rebounding differential is Gonzaga had 45 rebounds, Arkansas had 42.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, I mean, against them, you gotta take that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just got to.
Well, I thought they were going to kill us at first because, like I said, at the beginning, it seemed like they were. I mean, dude, getting what's his name in foul trouble was
Holmgren.
It was so huge.
Yeah.
Because it made him play limited minutes in the first half, which really helped us. And then when he went out, they were not the same team when he wasn't in there. No. Like they couldn't,
not defensively at all.
Well, and we could score much easier. I mean, obviously with him out, but the rebounding too.
Yeah.
We could get second chances. I mean. Like, who knows if Tony gets that last rebound and stuff.
So, player of the game, Trey Wade?
I mean, it's tough. I would say Trey Wade because he played so good on defense and he helped us out so much on offense and stepped up. Because it looked to me like they were focused on Amude because I was looking for Amude to get some shots for us. And while he did get a few, but they were tough turnarounds. Never did he get any open three-pointers. And... but the only thing is Tony at the end there. Those couple of blocks and that rebound that he got were just sealers. So I would give it to both of those guys. And honestly, Tony, the whole game, I mean, they said at the end.
And I mean, it's the whole team played great. I mean, because Jalen had an impossible task. He played awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, he hit big threes.
I mean, obviously,
Note was great.
It goes to the team.
Devo had big plays.
I mean, it might go to Musselman. Maybe Musselman was the player of the game because he came up with a great scheme. And those guys played hard. And like I said, it's impossible to take anyone away. I mean,
well, listen to the minutes breakdown. Jalen Williams, 36 minutes. Tony, 39 minutes. Note, 38 minutes. Moody only played 20 minutes because he was in foul trouble. Devo Davis comes in and plays 25 minutes. And Trey Wade, 34 minutes. Got to be the most amount of minutes he's played all year. And Trey Wade finishes the game with 15 points, 7 rebounds. I mean,
and that's so counterintuitive because we actually were talking. We were like, "How are they gonna scheme this with those two big guys?" And we're like, maybe we put in Vanover and he gets to,
or Kamani Johnson gets a bunch of minutes, which he didn't. He played 4 minutes.
Right. Well, and we said that we're like maybe Kamani instead of Wade, and Wade was the guy that we're like, who's Wade gonna guard? You know what I mean? Like, and it turns out he ends up being like one of the best players out there. So
yeah, no, Musselman just went with him. He just trusts that Wade's a great defender, which he is, and he said, "Dude, that guy's almost a foot taller than you or whatever he is, and he just played physical with him."
And you could tell, I mean, because obviously Mark Few is a great coach, and it looked to me like he had watched the game tape and was like, Amude is the guy that you need to focus on at the 3-point line and no one else. And it looked like maybe other than Jalen, but because watch Jalen the whole time. Or not Jalen, Note. But they were packing it inside, making it very difficult for anyone to score inside, at least at first. And it looked, they were doubling off of Wade. I mean, it looked like they definitely were disrespecting Wade, which, I'm not saying that's what I would have done. I definitely would have. If I looked at our game tape, I'd been like, if you're guarding Wade, whoever's guarding Wade, the second Amude or whoever gets one of our guys posted up, you drop down and attack. Let that guy shoot. If that guy's going to beat us, and thankfully...
He was huge, man. Hit 3 corner threes, just huge, man.
And not just that, he hit that, and then one time when they doubled, he rolled and he got that dunk. He did just enough to make that game plan not perfect. And like I said, I think it's a good game plan. That's what I would do. I'd look at our team and I'd go, yeah, we're gonna make Wade beat us, and he did just enough, and he did.
Yeah. So Jalen Williams finishes with 15 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, a block. Drew some charges. Also got Holmgren in foul trouble. He was huge. Tony finishes with 9 points, 7 rebounds. But I mean, Tony was amazing. I mean, dude, he played 39 minutes, and their guards didn't do jack in that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Tony doesn't get some of the love. I mean, he gets the love for those blocks and that his gameplay at the end, but all game long, dude. I mean, they said it. That one guy when he shot, I think he shot a free throw, and they said that's the first point he scored since the first like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, he's not used to that.
No. Tony is, and I don't know. He wasn't this because he was not playing that sort of 2 guard spot at the beginning of the year, but he is an elite lockdown guard defender. Yeah, like if you're another team, and your best player is a guard, and you're playing Arkansas, you got a real problem on your hands because Tony is. I think at this point we could say like that he's an elite perimeter defender.
Yeah, I mean, and actually that three that guy hit, that crazy three that just prolonged the game and made it even more nerve wracking. But where he was lean, part of the reason that guy got that off is because Devo half screened him, and they bumped into each other, and then he wasn't able to quite recover, and the guy still made a ridiculous falling
down the stretch. If you go over the last 2 months. There can't be a better defensive team in the country than Arkansas, right?
I'd like to see the numbers on it.
I mean, I know we weren't we were not what we are now early in the year, but the February and March, I can't imagine there's a better defensive team in the country.
I mean, if you look at the points scored against us, even in the tournament,
yeah, dude, and you look at I mean, Musselman, I agree with him too, like. You might be able to play as hard as Arkansas. You can't play harder. Yeah. It can't be done. Like I mean, you can't play harder than that. And I think it shows. I mean, like I felt like loose balls. We were all over the place on loose balls. 50-50 balls all over the place. You could tell that Gonzaga was not used to what we were that sort of intensity. They'd stumble or someone get on the floor, pick up a ball, and then be looking around for something. You're like, dude, you can't do that against Arkansas. They're going to be on that thing in an instant.
Well, look at the turnovers. I mean, they have more turnovers than assists. And I mean that's if you can get a team upside down on turnovers and assists, you got a good chance of winning. I mean, dude, it really the whole game was amazing. I mean, they did so many things where it felt like they were walking a tight line. I mean, literally when Jalen was on his tippy toes and threw the ball off of Timmy, things like that. I mean, I thought the very beginning, because to me the game started very poorly, and I mean the first literally 45 seconds where they stopped us, or
they hit a three, and then they got a floater.
They stopped us, and then they were about to go up 7. Like, cause was it 5-0, and they were about to go up 7-0, and that guy ran down, and Note, like a bat out of hell, I mean, just didn't give up and did that chase down LeBron James block off the backboard.
Which apparently was what we were going to do that game, because how many times did we chase dudes down?
But to me, that was a huge play because they were building momentum, and you do not want them to get that, and then you start to grip, and that instead went the other way. Instead of them being up, and then you get the momentum from your teammates of getting that hustle block from your star player, and then we went down and we were able to calm things down. I like that play. The play where Tony got that little tiny piece of that.
Timmy hooks Jalen, which they didn't call. So he hooks him on that spin, and he looks like he's got 2 for sure, and Tony comes out and just gets a finger on it. A
little piece of it to push it, yeah. And then, I mean, there was so many moments where it felt like, and you can say, I thought we were going to lose with about 9 minutes to go, and it was, even though I think at that point we were up 6, or something like that.
The foul differential.
Differential was freaking me out. We were already in the bonus. We had 8 fouls, and they were shooting 1 and 1. I mean, pretty soon they shoot 2.
They had 1, right?
We had 1 foul, and I was like, this is going to be the difference in the game. They're too good, and it's too hard to play defense on them to not be able to foul at all. Like even up at the top, they're going to be shooting 2 free throws every time we touch foul them, and it hurt us a little. I mean, they got to the line a few times, but luckily, and I would like to know if Musselman said anything about that during that time, but I mean, even like they pulled Jalen out for a few minutes and rested him, and even though Timmy scored 3 or 4 times when he was out, and Wade still made him score hard buckets, and it took time off the clock. Like every time they tried to speed it up, they had to kick it back out and work it around. And I mean, there was.
Well, this is what you saw. Like the Gonzaga they were running and they were trying to run, and then Arkansas was looking tired because that was exhausting. But Gonzaga was not scoring quickly. Even when they ran, they didn't score quickly. Like so, they run it down there, and then we made it very difficult for them to get a shot. So there wasn't quick scoring going on. And so even when it came down to them having to make up some points in a hurry, it was the same kind of thing where you're like, 7 points is a lot in this particular game because we're not letting you score quick. And dude, there just no threes were available. Like we just did not let them get good looks. I mean, the threes that they took were not great looks. I mean, and I thought offensively we looked. I mean, I thought we looked so much better offensively. I mean, Note I thought was really under control for most of the game. Wade was making shots. Jalen was doing the right things.
I actually thought now they missed some too, but I actually thought we missed more close shots than they did. We had a couple of shots, long shots, vibrate in and out. We had a couple of. I mean, that freaking shot from Tony that went like all the way around. And
well, we also shot uncharacteristically poor from the free throw line at the beginning of, especially the first half and the beginning of the second half. By the way, can we just say this too? Hey, look, I know Miami's still in the tournament. Chris Likes transfers from Miami to Arkansas, and they're going to play, right? So Miami has a chance to go to the A. It would have been a real bummer for Chris Likes, who comes from Miami. He's like, dude, I'm going to go to Arkansas. I'm going to get a run going. It would be a real bummer for him if Arkansas got out right now and if Miami found a way to win and Miami was going to the Elite Eight and Arkansas wasn't. And, man, maybe you made a bad decision, but that's not the case. Instead, he gets to beat the number 1 overall seed. And, Likes only plays 4 minutes. But, dude, what a role for him to come in and, like, he should feel – I'm sure he wants to play more minutes than that and all that, but it's important, man. I mean, like, they know that, like, in that situation, you knew he was going in. I knew he was going in. Everyone knows he's going in. And they're going to try to press. They're going to put pressure on the ball. They're going to have to foul. And Likes is a dude that is almost impossible to keep from getting the ball. And the dude is just so clutch. I mean, you're talking about ice cold off the bench, no warm-up. Come in here. I need you to make the biggest free throws of your life. And he does. And so, like, what a dude, man. Like,
I respect that because I can't shoot free throws under pressure. I mean, I give up. I lose. I mean, I know I don't shoot as many as these guys do in practice and stuff, but like it doesn't matter. I mean, when I just want to be on somebody's, like when it's, if I make it, I'm on the team I want to be on just in pickup ball. I always miss the shot when it's like, ooh, I get to be on that team if I make it right now. I'll always.
What about if you're about to beat Gonzaga? No way. And you're coming off the bench, like that's like you walking into the gym, like, hey, we're shooting up teams, and you got no warm up, no nothing, and you're this. I mean, he's been sitting on the bench for the last, 40 minutes, and like he comes out there and what a stud, man. And so, hey, Chris Likes, I'm glad you came to Arkansas because I like that role for you. I know you're gonna play bigger. You've played bigger roles than that down the stretch, but Chris Likes has iced a lot of big games for us. I mean, all the big games that were close, I mean, he's been a big part of that. He's the dude at the line.
Yep.
And so props to him, man.
Oh, dude. I'm, like, exhausted. That was exhausting to watch. Like, now it just hit me, and I'm like, oh, man. We're in the Elite Eight. It's unbelievable.
Back-to-back Elite Eight. It's so unbelievable. I'm almost curious to go back and watch our videos when we were losing to Vanderbilt and stuff, and dude, we were talking about, like, can we get it together and make the tournament? I mean, Elite Eight was just like, no way.
Well, and the thing we said was maybe because, and it's still the case, we don't have shooters. And that whole first 10 games, all Musselman was trying to do is figure out how to get he's got a bunch of shooters on the bench. And he's trying to figure out how to incorporate them into the game. And it's not, I mean, we were still winning mostly, but then we started to lose. And it was like, it just wasn't working. And we were going, well, I mean, maybe we just don't have the players because you got to have in this day and age with teams shooting threes the way they do. It's like you got to be able to shoot, and we're like maybe we just don't have the ingredients. But if we did say Musselman will get the most out of it, and he has made a very strange team. Like when they are winning, I mean, there's a reason nobody picked Arkansas to win, and it's like because they don't look prototypical. They win ugly, they win dirty, and it's like. They win honestly like teams from back in the 80s or something like that. And again, obviously we can't go as we say it ad nauseum, but Musselman is gonna get the most and figure out what these guys' best chance is to win every time. And I mean that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm a homer and stuff, but I don't I wouldn't trade Musselman for any coach in the country. I don't think.
I don't know how you could because, I mean, to go to the Elite Eight back-to-back years, and then who knows what would have happened
in year 2 and 3.
Yeah, well, and like I said, who knows what would have happened? I mean, I'll always regret that the COVID screwed that season. I wanted to see what they were going to do that year, because they were doing the same thing. They had done exactly the same arc as this team, which is they had struggled. They'd done pretty well, and then they had been on a big winning streak, and then they'd struggled, and then they'd figured it out, and they were peaking, and then COVID, But for Musselman, dude, we haven't been to the Elite Eight. It feels like we haven't even made the dance but 3 times in the last 20 years. You know what I mean?
It's been more than that, but we made it more than that. But it feels like it. Yeah.
Well, through Heath and Pelfrey, and we went
a little bit in Mike Anderson. Mike Anderson was just good enough to keep his job, and also everyone likes him because why not like Mike Anderson? Because he's a great guy and he represents the university well. But yeah, dude. Just as far as like proven, like when you have to prove it. Like, I don't know I wouldn't give Musselman up for anyone because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know that this dude over here can do it with that team with all these dudes, but like, I don't know, man. Musselman, I tell you what, dude, especially if he's got some days to prepare, I don't think you want to play him.
And I love that. I mean, it's exactly the opposite of like, I don't even know. I mean, and like I said, I like Mike Anderson as a person and as a coach. I mean, I have that signed ball by him, and I was hoping that I was wanting him to be the guy, but he just wasn't. And part of it that was frustrating was he just recruited athletes and then made them play his system. And it felt like, I don't even know if I know he did, but it felt like he didn't even game plan. It felt like he looked at the team and was like, well, we're going to do what we do, so let's go do it. Whereas Musselman is making a Frankenstein every game. You know what I mean? Like he is trying to figure, he'll freaking put likes in the post if he thinks that that's what he needs to do. You know what I mean? Like he'll figure out some weird thing that he sees and try to incorporate some. And like I said, it doesn't always work, but he's pretty good at most of the time. It's, like I said, who knows? Like in a world where maybe Timmy, they feed him and he literally shoots 90% and just scores 35 points and we lose by 1. You go, well, not doubling Timmy did not work. But it did work tonight. You know what I mean?
It did work because it can work because Jalen's good enough to make it work, and Musselman knows he's good enough. Like he's looking at his roster, and he says, "I think Jalen can at least contain this guy. This guy's not going to drop 40 on us if we have Jalen guard. It's not going to happen." And by the way, Jalen did a great. I know Jalen got in foul trouble, but dude, I would have fouled out of this game. As you guard guys in the post, I guard guys in the post. We're both. People don't know this that are watching. Like we're both bigger guys, taller guys, not big, but tall. And
for normal guys, not for like college players.
Right. But dude, I found out this game for sure. It's so hard. That's what I'm saying. Against a guy like that, I'm gonna like. That's
what I'm saying. They walked that tightrope all game. Like when he got in foul trouble, they managed to weather the storm while we were in the. They were in the bonus, and then he did have that opportunity where Timmy caught it deep over, like they launched it over, and you're screaming like, let him score, you're too important, and he managed to not pick up that 5th foul, because we needed him to box out and just body up.
You need him to run the offense. Like, the offense runs through Note, kind of like it runs through Note is the guy that everyone's worried about, and he's going to score and he can drive in and stuff. But when they actually run an offense, it runs through Jalen.
Yeah,
huge, man. I couldn't be more excited. I'm jacked up. I'm canceling my plans on Saturday, whatever they were, because now I got to watch this game. Wouldn't matter what else was going on. This is what's going on now. I don't know. We obviously don't know who we're playing yet, Duke or Texas Tech. If we're playing Texas Tech, we get to play Texas Tech again, who we played last year with a guy from Oral Roberts who is now on Texas Tech, so that'd be weird. Or you get to play Duke and
dude, I'm rooting for Duke because
I
like Arkansas as an underdog way better. Like I think they play way looser and way better. Like I said, give credit to some of the teams that we played before. They played good defense, but part of that is Arkansas's offense isn't as good when they don't have a chip on their shoulder. They're better, and Muss is a great. He's a great tactician of hype.
Also, who better to send Coach K home on his last? Like to say, no national championship for you in the final run, Coach K. Hogs can be the ones to do that. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, and if you lose,
not that I don't like Coach K, I think Coach K is fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And actually, I like that. Like if you lose to Duke, there's no shame in that. And Krzyzewski's
you just root for Duke all the way at that point.
He's a legend, and it's like, I mean, honestly, it's
his last season, man. Like if I'll say this right now, if Duke wins tonight and Arkansas plays Duke and Duke beats Arkansas, I will root for Duke to win the whole thing in Coach K's last year.
Probably, because I mean Duke as a
unless they're playing St. Peter's.
Yeah. Duke alumni annoy me because it's just like all elite universities that have like tons and tons of trophies. But there's no doubt what Krzyzewski's career and who he is as a person, and the fact that, I mean, if please don't have something come out don't like if this guy goes Cosby or something like that, and I find out like he's actually a jerk. But as of right now, like it's an unbelievable life he's led. Like, I mean, everybody says he's an amazing guy, and I mean he's literally like, I don't think there's any other coach that has the kind of, when they show pictures of him in black and white in advertisements for like college basketball, I mean he's like personifies college basketball in a way that I don't think anyone else ever has, or maybe
John Wooden, like a little bit before our time, but I think Coach K is the John Wooden of our era.
Would have been if there had been the access to media that there is during Krzyzewski's career, because John Wooden just happened to play in a time when not every game was, there was 3 networks and
I'm sure Coach K is the kind of guy that would push back on you and say that John Wooden is the guy, because that's the kind of guy that Coach K is, right? Of course.
The only what I'm saying is, though, John Wooden for sure in the trophies and in what people say privately, but I'm talking about Krzyzewski is a beyond he because of the media. I mean, it's not because Wooden, it's just the time that Wooden was. Like I said, there was no games televised when Wooden was doing it. But Krzyzewski is a national figure. Like, you could show a picture of Krzyzewski to almost anyone and they would know who he is, or at least have some idea. You could show a picture of John Wooden to anybody who's not a college basketball fan, and they wouldn't know who he was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, I would like to play Duke for multiple reasons. So.
Well, all right, man. Well, we will see. Super excited, guys. We're going to apparently do this again. We're going to keep doing this until, I mean, we'll probably, after, no matter when it falls off, we'll probably end up doing like one last video that's like a season recap or something like that. But love it. Hey, Anthony Black, I know you're deciding on Monday. I know Gonzaga's on your list, and I know Arkansas is on your list. Hope you were watching tonight. I'm sure you were. Hopefully that helped you know where you need to go. All right, because I wouldn't mind having that number 1 recruiting class. You could help me get there. We're at 2 right now. I got to believe that you might put us over the top. Also, I feel like a 6'7" point guard is exactly the kind of point guard that Musselman would love to have. That's what I'm saying. All right, man. We'll do it again on Saturday.